guys, it's Emily here at Thrive Wellness Center. I just wanted to come and talk to you all a little bit about anxiety, some different things that can help with it, where it kind of stems from and what causes it, and how we combat it here at Thrive Wellness Center. So first I want to start out with a little stat for you guys. So around 18% of the US population actually suffers from anxiety. And to be honest, I think a large part of people that do suffer from anxiety may not know they do, or it just doesn't go taken care of. So in my opinion, it's probably a lot more than that, but that's the stat that I was given from textbooks. So to go off of that, anxiety can look very different to many different people. So a lot of times when we hear anxiety, we think, panic attacks or unable to breathe, that sort of thing. But I see anxiety come in many shapes and forms here in the office. It can be anywhere from those things. So like having physical panic attacks, unable to breathe, heart racing, that sort of thing. It also can look like the inability to concentrate and focus on something because your mind is wandering. It can be racing thoughts too. It also can be hypersensitivity to noises or things around you, the inability to have communication with somebody who you normally would be able to. So all of those things are anxiety, and that's something that anxiety can look like. So the first thing to do about it is, identify if you are someone who suffers from anxiety. And if you are, there's good news, we're able to help. So the next thing that you need to know is that a lot of anxiety can stem from environmental factors. So obviously, if you are stressed about something at work, you could feel anxious about that. If you have a big meeting or a test or some sort of environmental stressor coming up, that can make you anxious. That's a fact for sure. But what a lot of people don't understand too is that anxiety is a lot of physical factors as well. So our bodies are set up to handle stress and to adapt to our environment. So that includes adapting to those stressors that we take on daily. So, that very hectic drive you have to work, our bodies are supposed to be able to adapt to that and shift gears so that we can handle that stress. That boss that you cannot stand and he just makes you so anxious and so mad, our body should be able to handle those things if we give it the right tools. So first identifying, what makes you anxious is really important. And then identifying where it's stemming from is also important as well. Because like I said, it's not just environmental, it can be actually physical. A lot of times, I see, just because we mostly see women in the office, this is not to disclude the men from having anxiety, but a lot of times we see anxiety issues correlated with thyroid issues. So personally speaking, I've gone on this journey since I've started here at Thrive 2 years ago. Very, very high anxiety, thyroid issues, adrenal issues, so just chronic fatigue, high highs and low lows from going through that. And what I've come to know is that when my thyroid is off, my anxiety is going to be worse. And I have chronically seen this with patients as well, and I know Dr. Shannon has too. So making sure that all your organs are being supported the way they need to be. A lot of times what we see as anxiety is actually a mineral deficiency, which a lot of us are mineral deficient because we are depleted constantly by things like immune challenges and food sensitivities, metal toxicities, chemical toxicities, other environmental stress factors. When our body responds to stress, whether it is environmental, physical, anything like that, our body wants to dump minerals. So things like magnesium, potassium, sodium, all those things help the body calm down, and we're basically pulling from empty reserves. So when we're trying to pull these minerals out and there's nothing to pull, our body goes into this state of anxiousness. So literally you can feel actually anxious. So a lot of times we fix anxiety around here with something as simple as a mineral complex. Whatever you test for is usually what we're recommending, but just to put it in the general synopsis of things, it's usually a mineral deficiency. And a lot of our diets are lacking good minerals because we don't eat good food. And then on top of that, we don't sleep, we don't stay hydrated. All of those things play a role as well. So I'll go through some things that deplete our minerals that you can work on and that are easy to kind of fix up. So the first thing, I know we drill this into your head all the time, but sugar. So sugar depletes minerals really quickly. It zaps them right out. Our body can't catch up with itself when we're eating an overload of sugar, especially highly processed sugars. So avoiding sugar and reducing that overall is going to be really important. Next, we have alcohol. So a lot of us, we may use alcohol to cover up things like anxiousness or anything else that's going on. In the long run, all that's doing is kind of biting you in the butt. So you want to avoid alcohol, sugar. Alcohol and sugar also really highly affect the thyroid, which we just talked about, being an issue for people with anxiety. Food sensitivities. So figuring out if you're sensitive to anything in particular. So wheat, dairy, sugar, like I said, are big ones. Grains. These all are inflammatory foods that cause more issues and start to deplete minerals more and more. So avoiding foods like your wheats and your sugars is going to be really important. Then when you do run into like metal or chemical toxicities, so a big one that I notice come up with people with anxiousness, people who wear a lot of scented products, I should say. So like your laundry detergents, your perfumes, your colognes, all of those are chemicals. So you want to make sure that you're avoiding those in return, helping with that mineral depletion. Just general hormone imbalance. So, you could feel anxious because different hormones in your body are off. So coming in, getting checked and checking on all your hormonal organs, your pituitary gland, your thyroid, your adrenals, your pancreas, for women, the female reproductive organs for us, and then for men, those as well. Making sure that those are intact and doing what they need to be doing is going to be important for making sure they're functioning well. And then a really big one that is so hard to give up, I think, personally, but caffeine. So caffeine is a huge component to anxiousness. So caffeine overstimulates us, and if you've ever experienced anxiety, you already feel overstimulated. So for you to kind of throw in another factor to kind of rev that engine up is just something else that your body's going to have to deal with. So paying attention to that and making sure that you, don't drink caffeine, which if you can give it up, I do suggest if you're a very anxious person. B, you need to have a good sense of what caffeine you are putting in your body. So like energy drinks, no. So like Monsters, Red Bulls, Bangs, all of that stuff you want to avoid. And then things like coffee, you want to make sure you're getting from a good source. So like organic coffee beans, if you're grounding your own coffee, you want to make sure that they're organic because they're highly sprayed with pesticides and herbicides. So like I said, we just talked about that, those are chemicals, so you want to avoid those. And then when it comes to also caffeine or coffee, if you wanted to do the organo mushroom coffee that we have in the office, that is a really good bet when it comes to your body digesting it and dealing with it better, because it does have the mushrooms in it, which kind of help level out with the caffeine. All right, so what you can do to help with your anxiousness besides avoid those things, we'll get to the good news. So what you need to do is you need to keep building and heal your body. And we know to be true that we can do that through our food, through whole food supplementation and through lifestyle changes. So things like making sure you're getting enough good protein to build up. Protein is building blocks. Think of it as, the little builders inside your body trying to heal you up. Good protein is going to help heal. Good fats, healthy fats are going to have all of those essential fatty acids that are really important for the different signals going through our bodies. So, our brain is doing a bunch of work throughout the day, making sure you're supporting it because it is a lot of fat and a lot of water. So that's really important. Also making sure you're eating enough fat so that your cells can absorb the minerals that you're eating. That's another big factor in eating good fats is there's this little like wall around our cells, and we only can let nutrients into that wall if we have enough essential fatty acids in our diet. So I know there's the big scare around fat, and that fat is bad, and I'll tell you, commercial fats, please stay away from. So like, you know, your canola oils and things like that, we don't want to be consuming. But your fats like avocados, nuts and seeds, coconut oils, avocado oil, olive oil, those sort of things you do want to be consuming daily. Eggs, those are good fats, and we need those to function. And then also you want to incorporate some sort of outlet, I suggest too. So whether that's exercise or walking, breathing, yoga is a great one, meditation, seeing some sort of therapist to help with anxiety too. You need an outlet. So having an outlet there can be your go-to safe spot. So yoga works really well. I really do love yoga, especially for anything mental that you may be dealing with and you need a release from. So yoga incorporates movement and breath, which are two really important things that our body needs. So a good app to use with everything going on. I know yoga classes are kind of scarce, or you may not feel comfortable going to a class. So I use an app called Down Dog. It's a yoga app, and it's phenomenal. It's super customizable. You can do it right in your home. There's a girl on the screen through the whole practice. She is doing all the movements with you, so you have guidance the whole time as well. Things as simple as taking walks. You know, these last few days of fall have been beautiful. Go out and take advantage of them. Get out in the sunshine. Do some breathing exercises. A really good exercise that I love to do on the spot if you're feeling anxious or you feel like you're about to have any sort of panic attack or anything like that, you want to do a breathing exercise. And I honestly, it has a name, I'm sure, but I'm just going to call it 478. So you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold it for 7, and then you breathe out for 8. And you continuously do that. And you will be amazed at what happens when you just start to focus on your breath. I know it sounds bizarre, especially if you're an anxious person. You're like, that's never going to work. Trust me, I know, I've been there. But if you do that repeatedly over and over again, especially for, you know, a few minutes or something like that, it really does start to calm your body down, because physiologically speaking, you are getting oxygen to where it needs to go. All right, so those are just some different outlets to have in mind and that are really beneficial for you to use. We also have different supplemental support here in the office. So if you are on a program, you may be familiar with something like Mintran or Minchex. Those are a couple of my favorite for anxiousness. So just, again, replenishing minerals. Mintran and Minchex are both mineral complexes that help our bodies relax, help feed minerals to us. So like I remember the first year-ish of my program, maybe a year and a half, I was on Mintran, and then I recently, maybe like a couple months ago, got put onto Minchex, and I can't tell you how much that has helped. So it's insane. Like, I do what I do and I love it and I believe in it fully, but like when you experience it, it's just a whole nother level. So Minchex is really awesome. Also, lavender essential oil is a really good one. So, you know, doing something at night is always really nice. Some lavender, diffusing it at night, or whenever you're stressed or anything like that, that's also a good option. Magnesium oil and lotion are great options as well. Like I said again, that's just more minerals. So putting those on daily. I always suggest magnesium oil, particularly on the bottom of your feet before bed, because it does help with sleep as well, and it just helps the body calm down. We also have CBD oils, very high quality CBD oils that are available that we've had a lot of success with anxiousness and things like that. So again, coming in, get checked, see what's going on, because your anxiousness is just not coming out of nowhere. There's something going on, usually on top of that environmental factor or stress that's happening. There's also a physical factor. So we need to help combat your body to better be able to handle that issue, handle that stress, so that you can deal with that. And just another little TLC thing I like to share with people who do deal with anxiety is remember mentally to tell yourself that you feel anxious, or you know, if you're dealing with depression, you feel depressed right now. I don't ever like to don't associate, don't connect it fully to yourself and say like I am anxious or I am depressed. That's like really linking that to you, when you are not that thing. You are just feeling that thing in that moment. So just rewording things like that, because our bodies, they listen. I tell you what, they listen to us. So it's really important that you just say those things in the right way, because it is valid to feel those things, and it is okay to feel those things. Just feel them in that moment, and don't identify with them fully, because you are not anxious all the time. So you're a great person, and we want to help you out. So come on in, get checked, see what support you need, and we love to help you out. All right, I hope you all are having a great day, and we will see you next time.